And as soon as I walked out and I looked at like the almost empty stadium, I looked down at the platform and I see the Tokyo 2020 logo, and it just hit me that my entire life's work comes down to this moment. And I just felt like I got slapped in the face by fear itself. I am Jesmond Stevens, and this is my Tokyo 2020 Olympic journey. I remember I was actually already in Malta. I had come back from a training camp and I was in isolation from the rest of the family. And I got a message from a friend of mine who is also part of the Maltese Olympic Committee to congratulate me. And I literally just messaged her back like, what are you on about? What do you mean? Like, why are you congratulating me? Like, I had heard nothing from anyone else. I obviously expected to hear the news from my coach or someone else. Immediately I started sweating and I could feel my heart like beating really fast, because I knew if my friend, who is also part of the Maltese Olympic Committee, is congratulating me, then this has something to do with the Olympics. And I called my coach and he immediately said, oh, I was about to call you. I just got the email, you're part of the team. And I could just feel my entire body just go numb, and like my entire life, like life's work, just finally come together in that moment. Like, I couldn't believe it was actually, like, the news was actually coming to me.
Just wanted to let you know, Elena, Sarah, Tokyo, it's official.
At that very moment, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And my coach kept saying something and I literally just zoned out. And I told him, I'm just gonna call you back. I promise, like, I'm not listening to anything you're saying right now. Like, I want to, and I apologize, but I need to run down and tell my parents because they're going to freak out. My sister was there, my dad was there, and it was just like 5 full minutes of us hugging each other, and it was just a team effort. The entire 5 years was a team effort, especially my family, and I think that moment was an incredibly special moment for all of us. It's strange because growing up, you know, when teachers or parents or family members or whatever ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? I literally, for most of my life, said, I want to be an Olympian. So once I got the news that I made the Olympic team, nothing much changed from what I was doing before. So basically, I have been prepping for the Olympic Games way before I knew I was going. I got the news only a month before, so I knew that I need to prepare from way before to make sure that if I got the news, I would already be on track. So it's my first official session since the announcement. My energy has been a bit low lately just because of the dieting, but today I got like such a surge of energy, obviously. The heat does not help me at all, but I guess it's good to sweat a bit. It means I'm losing some body fat. So my training is usually 2 sessions per day. I did my morning session in my home gym and my evening session at the national team gym. And every single day in between my sessions, I either went to a physiotherapy session or a sports massage. So the pain is how it used to be, but I feel it more on the inside now when I push.
You get any pain like that?
No. I also did sauna and ice baths once a week. It all worked out perfectly though, because my training was the best it's ever been. My recovery was the best it's ever been. My body felt the best it's ever felt. And my body weight has never been better. Session tonight is a bit heavy, so I have heavy clean and jerks, heavy snatches before that, a few heavy doubles, but then I work up to a heavy single as well.
I've been dreaming all night, bringing me some inspiration. Never meant to love no one. Love.
Last weight. I'm happy. Good. Okay, so snatches are done. No misses. My instinct was correct. My feeling was correct. I'm not gonna say it was easy. Like that last one was 85. Wasn't easy, but well, actually quite easy. Which is a good sign. It's Friday, so it's the end of the week, so I'm not, super fresh. So this is really promising. Really promising. So now I'm gonna kind of have a mini break, literally 5 minutes, and start my clean and jerks. I really need to refocus and make it count, as I would say.
Going, and if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going on. I bet my nigga won't tell me this luck again. See that I'm winning, it's harder to watch. I'm setting the stage, so she give me my props. You ain't got no soul, you live in the spirit. You talk out your neck, I'ma show you I'm with it. Watch me win again and win again and win again. I know it's probably getting hard, me when I see it. So if I ever win again, it's how I did the minimum. I didn't have to feel so. Please don't play no games with me. Fame to me, they needed the best, so they came to me. Who the best in this thing? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who bring the fire. Who make it flip, make it bang.
Sikka u dritta b'kaman. Iktar dritta. Kaman, ġewġa mustaqat iktar. Iktar jas.
Decrease the weight just to kind of fix the technique on the jerk, because as I get close to my 1 rep, I start to make silly mistakes. So that would have been the last one, but I wouldn't want to end on a miss, and I wouldn't want to end on ugly technique. So I'm gonna try and make this look absolutely perfect.
Make it flip, make it bang. Who make the party feel loud? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Whoa. Yeah, that's me. Who that chick? Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Dunzo. I'm quite happy with this session. That was the first time this week that I managed to go from 100 to 105 and hit 105 like that. The key at the moment is to be as confident as possible with these weights. So the fact that I hit 85 Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I hit 105 Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, a lot of things will actually go into that final day. Mostly the fact that I'll be weighing around 1.5 kilos less. This type of training is great. So. Touch wood. Hug wood. The 21st of July was the day we started traveling to Tokyo, and that's when I started packing. And I think that is the first time like it properly hit me that I'm going to the Olympic Games, and packing was a mess. Like I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop like crying over my luggages and my bags, and I kept forgetting things like what do I need to take with me. So that last day especially was such a blur. It was so like emotional for all of us. The travel was very long, of course. From Malta to Tokyo, it took us around 20 hours to get to Tokyo. And once we got to the athletes village and we drove past the Olympic rings, and it was just such a special moment, like after all that traveling, to arrive at the Olympic village. Like finally we were there, and we got a good night's rest. And first thing in the morning, we went to the training hall, the weightlifting training hall. So we were given a platform each, and there was enough space between each platform to, you know, for social distancing, to keep the athletes safe. And it was just so great to train around some of the best athletes at the games this year. Yes, it was just overwhelming, but at the same time not different than any other competition. Like that, it was so strange that I was at the Olympic Games, but I was doing the exact same thing I've been doing for the past 5 years. And of course it sounds obvious, like obviously I'm there to do weightlifting, but you'd always expect the Olympics to be something completely different. But you know, I was lifting the same weights, the same bar, on the same type of platform. Like it's a surreal feeling. Like I was doing what I've always been doing, but on a platform that has the Olympic rings engraved in it. So, yeah. So, my mom just called me and we both cried for 10 minutes. Yes, I'm gonna prepare my bag and get ready to go. See you from the platform. So yes, I mean, obviously my entire family is incredibly special to me, but of course they did not put any pressure on me, but I felt the pressure. Like I felt it, like I was like, oh my God, they've done so much for me in the past 5 years. Now I have to go there tomorrow, compete and do this for them. And all of a sudden I just felt like I was terrified. Managed to still get a really good night's sleep, woke up the next day, thought I kind of like, okay, I'll just shake it off, I'll be fine. And went from a really big breakfast pre-weigh-in because my body weight was still so low. Was feeling really good about like just my body just felt good. I felt so energized, so ready to go. Started warming up, everything was moving so easy, everything was moving so well. We initially gave a starting weight of 80 kilos, knew that I wouldn't be starting at 80, put that up to 84, which is only 2 kilos under my best in the 64 kilo weight class. Called out my name, went to sit down. You know, my coach looked at me, he's like, okay, you're ready, let's go. You know what to do, you're looking great, just go out there and do this exact same thing. And as soon as I walked out and I looked at like the almost empty stadium, I look down at the platform and I see the Tokyo 2020 logo, and it just hit me that my entire life's work comes down to this moment. And I just felt like I got slapped in the face by fear itself. I couldn't completely function normally, and missed my first snatch attempt at 84. And it was just like, it wasn't even heavy. Like I don't know why I missed it. I was just so nervous. I wasn't even thinking about anything. I was just like, get this weight over my head and just get this over and done with. And I wasn't thinking straight. And my heart just dropped because I never miss my first attempt in snatch. Never, ever. Like I can't even remember the last time I missed the first attempt in a snatch. I could feel my heart racing, and I got so immediately demotivated. But my coach was just like looking at me and going, what are you doing? Like, you can power snatch that weight. What are you on about? Let me just say, it took all the energy I had to make that second attempt. It wasn't pretty. Saved it really, like, it was difficult to save, but I saved it. And yeah, it was just like a step forward. Like, it gave me a bit of extra confidence to get into the rest of the competition. It was unfortunately the only lift I made, however, which really was disappointing because I was snatching 90 in training just a week before. So 6 kilos under what I know I could have done on that stage. And I was so demotivated at that point, and you know, so then I really tried to refocus, started my clean and jerk warm-up, and it was such a different story. Like, it was not the same like my snatch warm-up. I did not feel good doing my clean and jerks. Everything felt heavy, everything felt off, everything felt weird. And I was just so worried. I was just thinking, oh my God, this is just gonna be such a disappointment. I can't disappoint, you know, my coach, my family, my friends, my boyfriend. They're all watching me. I can't disappoint them. And I started getting so worried. And my coach kept telling me, oh, you look good, you look strong. Yes, that's fine. And in my heart, I'm just going, I don't feel good. I don't feel strong. And he told me, okay, we'll start at 101. And I said, can we not? Like, can we start lower? And I think he just realized, like, oh my God, she must not be confident at all. But he got angry at me, and it's exactly what I needed at that point. They called out my name, equally as terrified as the snatches, but went out there, gave it my all on the clean and jerk, really felt good, and they gave me a no lift on my first attempt. Oh my God, honestly, at that point, I couldn't believe I missed the opener clean and jerk as well. Well, they gave me a press out because of my right arm. So yeah, my coach then said, I think we should repeat the same way to make sure to get a total in. You know, the pressure was on. I needed to get this second clean and jerk. I think my emotions changed from fear to anger by then. Smashed that clean and jerk at 101. So yes, after that second attempt, it meant I had a total. It meant I was on the board. It meant I have a result to take home with me. It also meant that I was the first ever weightlifter to actually get a successful result for weightlifting in Malta. So at that moment, my mission was complete. And I looked at my coach and I told him, okay, whatever you want to put on the bar now, you can put it because I'm gonna do it. And he just looked at me with equal amount of like, I hate you, as, okay, yes, let's do this. Like, this is the Yaz I know and love. This is the Yaz I'm used to. And my national record was at 103, and he said, okay, let's go for a national record. And I said, yes, but make it 105, not just 104. Like, let's go for a 2 kilo record. Went out to really smash that 105. It wasn't even at all hard. Definitely had so much more in the tank, and I really wish I had the opportunity to show that. But that 105 is most definitely my favorite moment on platform. Just because I did a national record on an Olympic stage, which is massive. Like, it's massive to do a national record on an Olympic stage. And even though I know I left so many kilos behind, I am not at all disappointed at that result, just because of how I felt. And I know that it was so easy for me to completely fail at this competition just because of the pressure and the stress and the fear. And I'm so happy that I just had it in me to not do that. I wanted to remember that moment and that feeling for the rest of my life. So I took a moment and I just looked up in front of me, like took a deep breath, really wanted to like savored that moment, and I looked behind me and I saw those Olympic signs, and it was just so surreal to be there looking at the Olympic signs. And yes, it was also my auntie's birthday, who passed away a few years ago, the next day after my competition actually. And she was always such a big fan. She was always ridiculously proud of me, embarrassingly proud of me. You know, she would go around and tell everyone how talented I was and what a great athlete I was. So I did obviously dedicate that lift to her at the end, which is why I looked at the Olympic signs and then looked up towards her, because she would have absolutely loved watching that for sure. I'm sure I would have heard her all the way from Tokyo screaming. And yes, I dedicated that lift to my Auntie Marcy, and it was her birthday the next day, so it was a little gift for her. Usually when I get a tattoo, I'm like not even that excited. This, I've been thinking about Illa for ages. Like as soon as I finished the competition, it's the first. I think I messaged you that day.
Because I woke up at 5 in the morning to watch you compete. But I messaged you to your reaction, something like that. But you messaged me.
Yesterday I was cleaning out my room and I found another album of our school days. And of so many pictures together, constantly together. And then we became good friends in school. So we were in school together since you were in St. Catherine's since the very beginning, no?
No.
So we're 4 years old basically.
Exactly.
I think we were really good friends mostly because both of us were really into sports early on.
We were so competitive.
Really competitive. I think us two were two of the most competitive people in our class. You ever just daydream in the car? Constantly daydream about something? For me, the past 5 years, I daydreamed about the moment they would tell me I'm going to the Olympics. Constantly, that's the only thing I ever thought about. And the other day I was just driving home and I thought, how weird, I haven't thought about that in a while, obviously because it happens now. I went, yeah, it happened, all those years, me imagining it, and literally every time I thought about it I used to get teary-eyed, I used to get emotional just because I really wanted it to happen. And it's still bizarre that it actually happened. And I just thought, if a younger me, not just a younger me who already was weightlifting, beyond that, if I told her, you would one day be an Olympian, honestly, not in a million years would I have believed it. It's honestly something I can't even describe. My wildest dream came true, and that's something I cannot ever put into words. Never.